On this episode of Inside the Blueprint, how one company is developing proteins and antibodies to save the world. A law firm that puts their clients and service above all else. Plus, how installing Skylights can lead to a happier and healthier home. These stories and so much more. Stay tuned. Developing new drugs, vaccines, and diagnostics is a detailed process, one that can take years to complete. One of the most important parts of this process is the development and production of quality recombinant proteins and antibodies. Sino Biological Incorporated is at the forefront of this industry.
Recombinant proteins and recombinant antibodies are reagents which are utilized in basic biological research, but they're also utilized in biomedical translational research. So scientists in academia as well as industry utilize proteins and antibodies when they discover new pathways and cascades in cell biology and human physiology, but perhaps more importantly, they use them to design and develop and discover new vaccines and therapeutics and even diagnostic kits. Cyano Biological was founded in 2007 as a spin out of MIT, and it's based upon technology which allows for the use of mammalian cells to manufacture and produce recombinant proteins and recombinant antibodies. Cyano Biological has the world's largest collection of full-length bioactive recombinant proteins in stock and in our catalog. And in addition to that, if we don't have the protein or antibody that a client needs, we have a full slate of custom contract research services which will allow us to design and develop and produce that protein or that antibody for that client. And in this respect, we actually focus on the most difficult to manufacture proteins, those that no other companies can actually manufacture and develop.
So we at Sino Biological produce the proteins and antibodies recombinantly. That means we start with a gene encoding the protein of interest. We clone it into a vectors and we transfer into the host cells. By harnessing the intrinsic protein production machinery of the host cells, we are able to express and harvest the protein from them and polish them into high concentration and high purity. Actually, it's more like a collaboration relationships between us and the customers. So they don't need to spend the time on the production. They can spare their hands and time to do the research that really want to focus on. So we will provide them the reagents and the project, all the kinds of information they want to data they want to obtain from the production.
In Cyano Biological's Research and Development Department, we have over 250 scientists that focus on the generation and development of next generation recombinant antibodies and proteins. Cyano Biological has about 120 individuals in production and manufacturing and has over 100 scientists in its quality control department as well.
We developed and produced the COVID spike proteins, which is the key reagents in record of 11 days in Jan 2020. And after the first wave, there were continuously emerging new mutations. So we launched multiple platforms, including the protein productions for the variants of all the Greek letters, the antibody production, and pseudovirus crow service. It is very rewarding feeling to work for Sino Biological. Every time I talk with a customer, I actually feel that I'm contributing to the research. I'm helping them to understand a little bit further about the disease, about the treatment. So it's not just about selling the product, but it's actually seeing that we are helping a little bit in the biopharmaceutical field.
Therapeutics and diagnostics development takes considerable time and expense, but Cyano Biological streamlines this process with its comprehensive bioreagents and contract research services offering. For more information, visit their website, cyanobiological.com, or watch this segment again at InsideTheBlueprint.com. When choosing a litigation lawyer, it's not just about choosing the first lawyer you meet. It's best to do your research and ask the right questions to find the perfect attorney for your case.
When a person is looking for an attorney, it means they have a legal issue. And unfortunately, a person will usually talk to a friend who may have had a legal issue or a relative, and the lawyer's out there selling their services, and they'll tell you they can do it. However, what you should do is you should, call your state bar and ask for references, or find a lawyer who is kind enough to give you several references. Ask for at least 3. I originally started at very big law firms. Their hourly rates for me, even when I was a young lawyer who had 7 or 8 years of experience, were $700 an hour to $1,200, then it went up to $1,400 an hour. Their standard retainer, which is what you'd have to pay up front to retain me for a case, was $50,000 to $100,000. And all my colleagues were paid bonuses for how many hours they billed, so they would never turn the clock off. So I started my own firm where I bonus my lawyers if they bring a case in to the satisfaction of the client under budget. I drop the hourly rates by, in some places, $800 to $1,000 an hour. I don't charge most of the costs that a big firm does. And of course, we promote women and minorities because you need to be diverse in today's society for so many reasons. And I opened this firm up in 2009, and I started in Los Angeles and have a New York office in Midtown Manhattan. Fortunately for me, and it's rare, I was taught by the big law firm how to try every case all over the country, which I do. We do SEC cases, FINRA cases, we do entertainment cases, which of course get in the news, copyright, trademark, patent cases. We do big battles between companies, but our rates are low enough that a small company can have an issue where somebody's passing off their restaurant as their own, and there can be consumer confusion. We handle that kind of stuff, and we can bill at a very low rate and get the job done so that a small business can afford us as well. It's hard enough to try a case to jurors who are strangers, and to have somebody who knows how to pick a jury and talk to a jury and how to simplify complicated matters and how to win a trial, they have to have tried many cases. So if you don't establish up front that the lawyer's tried a lot of cases and knows how to pick a jury or present a case to an arbitrator. When I was much younger, I wrote a book. The reason I wrote the book is that the average small business owner or individual, when they have either to sue someone or get served with a lawsuit, they have no idea what they're facing. It isn't like an express train that you get on and there's a lawsuit and then you're in a jury trial. It shouldn't be that way. All judges require there be mediation in an attempt to settle the case. There could be a motion filed where you could get out of the case. The most important thing is that you talk to the lawyer about all the different leverage points where you could end the case within your budget and move on with your life, because the lawsuit also chews up time. So I think it's really important that you have the lawyer you hire explain the whole process from start to finish and where are the exits. If I got on a train, I'd want to know when I can get off. I don't want to go to the last stop. Same thing with litigation. The law, to me, is a very important part of this entire country. We have legal rights. If someone violates your rights, you're not left to self-help and, duking it out.
For more information on the law firm, visit their website, GerardFoxLaw.com, or watch this segment again at InsideTheBlueprint.com. According to the Department of Energy, installing skylights in your home or business will add needed ventilation as well as natural light. Today more than ever, homeowners are using skylights to create brighter spaces while adding value to their home.
The benefits of having natural light coming into your home and with the effects it has on your body, numerous studies have shown that it improves your mood, performance, helps you sleep better. It provides you with vitamin D that we know that our bodies, require. It actually helps with the circadian rhythm of your, with sleep patterns. People using natural light in their homes, and say some of the smaller rooms, it would give the appearance that the room is larger, more inviting. When you're designing a home or you're doing improvements, there are many ways that you could bring in natural light, like you said, including doors, windows. But one of the big things is skylights. You know, skylights are, just because of their sheer location, allows the most amount of natural light to come in throughout the day.
Supreme Skylights started in 2006. It was a few individuals that got together from the skylight manufacturing business as well as architecture. And they came together to design skylights that were easy to install, that fit a need at the time when there was limited options for custom skylights available in the metro market, and it has evolved since then. We allow unlimited amount of options with our skylights, whether it's a flat roof application, whether it's a pitched roof application, it could be a different shape, it could be multiple units ganged together. There's a multitude of applications that our skylights will work with, and we try to make it so the skylight for the installer is user-friendly, meaning easiest to install.
One of the benefits that we do here at Supreme Skylights is we'll manufacture a skylight to fit the project rather than having a project have to fit our skylight.
I've been involved in skylights for over 30 years, and the evolution from when I started to today, the skylight is a completely different product. The technology of the glass itself, which is the majority of the skylight, has improved vastly with coatings, argon filling, and different technology that they use on the glass itself has made it a much more energy efficient product, which allows the natural daylight to come through, but it will reduce the heat gain that comes through it. It'll reduce some of the sound that comes through it. In addition, the accessories that are available today, we have a lot of options, motorization, we have solar, we've got rain sensor control, there's options to control your skylight with your phone through apps. So it's basically a completely different skylight from 25, 30 years ago.
Well, contractors and homeowners, they have the ability to go to our website. Our website is a wealth of information, talks about all our product lines, the benefits of skylights. Generally what we'll have is we can have a contractor that can contact us directly, or even a homeowner, they've contacted us, and then we would reach out to the distributor that they intend to purchase a skylight from and talk them through what is needed for that specific project.
If you're considering a skylight for your home or business project, visit their website, supremeskylights.com, or watch this segment again at InsideTheBlueprint.com. Most companies know how important integration is, but they may not know the best ways to do it. An IT consulting firm is the best option to help bridge the gap and help your company grow.
Integration is the ability to connect systems. If you have two systems or multiple systems that need to aggregate their data, they need to orchestrate their data to, for example, in the case of a rideshare, make a payment, contact the driver, get map coordinates, and bring that all back into one user experience, whether it be a user interface or a commercial system. The integration layer itself is what reaches out and brings all that data together. It's what does that orchestration of data. The APIs are the driving mechanism that we use in the integration layer. They are the physical asset, so to speak. They are the piece of code that represents those resources that we integrate in the back end.
Rapid development has a long history in IT, starting primarily in the late 1990s with rapid application development as its name, and then that progressed into a series of evolutions from there with extreme programming, agile, and the purpose of all of that was to reduce the time and risk of software development. And What we're aiming at is looking for the next cycle of how do you reduce risk further and how do you decrease the time to market, so increase your productivity.
Diamond Edge IT is a services company that we bring our expertise to customers. We work with them side by side, and as we do that, we're better able to recognize any gaps in the market or demands for speed to market. And this was allowing us to build a product off the side of that. We had a customer require us to build an API that had literally hundreds of lines of code in it that we had to type out manually. And as we were going through that process, we didn't want to type all of those lines because it's prone to human error and it's just extremely time consuming. So we actually developed a program to generate that code. And as we took that idea and grew it, we realized that we could generate the entire API, we could generate any tools or assets that the customers want to enable them to get that speed to market.
When working with new technology, it can be challenging for organisations to obtain what is the best way to use these technologies. They're increasingly more complicated as they provide more and more features and more ways of doing things within the software to meet the wide-ranging differences within industries. And so where our expertise comes in is where we can assist a company with how best to use that technology, and that fast tracks them onto a better path and hopefully prevents what they call technical debt, which is bad decisions at the start of a project or a technology use that have repercussions down through the evolution and use of the technology in an organisation.
Customers will benefit from the 9Gold platform because it gives you a fully operational API based on the customer's data.
My advice to companies who are moving into or evolving into the integration space is to choose good tools effectively. The tool choice is vitally important, and if you have good staff, and companies do, that they will adjust and use those tools and you'll get increased productivity and increased quality, which decreases your risk.
If you're interested in integration within your company, visit their website, diamondedge-it.com, or watch this segment again at insidetheblueprint.com. Choosing paint can be a daunting task, and not all paint is the same.
There's a common misconception that paint is paint. And I think contributing to that is the fact that it's all packaged pretty much in the same container. Everything comes in the can until you open the can. And then you start to see that the formulation and the resins and the raw materials make all the difference. Color influences people and affects their emotions. Where a green is calming and a red excites you, or a yellow sparks your memory, color is very personal.
With stores throughout New York City, Janovic provides high-quality paint and supplies for all project sizes.
Janovic is the oldest operating paint store in New York. It goes back to 1888, has such a rich heritage and history. We've painted so many iconic buildings over the years and been such a part of bringing color to New York City. Buildings like the Flatiron Building and the Empire State Building and new buildings like the Freedom Tower. We have different demands from different clients that we service. A theater may need a color that has no light reflection. A museum needs an exact color that's behind the Picasso painting that's on there. The hotel is really concerned with the scuff marks that could happen from suitcases going through the lobby. So we adjust to what's the right product for the right job.
Knowing our customers well, we understand that they have different needs. You know, our contractors are, they're not just motivated by price, they're motivated by service, and they're motivated by quality products. So we've been committed to listening to our customers, bringing in new products, whether it's high-end German tools or Venetian plasters and high-end decorative finishes. When someone walks into Janovic looking to choose a color, before they come into the store, they usually have a good idea of what they're looking for, but they need some guidance to get there. That's where we come in, to give suggestions, to give them advice based on the experience of our staff.
Janovic has colorists that have been there for decades, one for over 50 years. The dedicated colorists are what sets Janovic apart.
Janovic's more than just a paint store. We have paint and paint supplies, but we also have home goods, custom blinds, tools, hardware, whatever you need for your home decorating project.
There's a rich history with Janovic, and while we respect that heritage, we also look for tomorrow with the employees that'll be running Janovic and the training and education that goes there. We're very much a part of key design schools where we supply color materials, education, we've had scholarships. Color is such an essential part of what we do in our business. We are the color authority, and that's our registered trademark, and we live it every day.
To learn more about Janovic, visit their website, janovic.com, or watch this segment again at InsideTheBlueprint.com. All you have to do is turn on the faucet or push a button and the water starts flowing, or a toilet takes wastewater away. But where does the water come from, and where does it go once we've used it?
Every tall building, both commercial and multifamily residential in the city, has got 3 different pump systems: an HVAC system, fire protection, and then a plumbing pump system covering both water and wastewater. The interesting thing about pumps is they're largely out of sight, and therefore they're out of mind. We take for granted that we have fresh water coming in and that all of our waste gets out of the building. But when gravity can't do the job, we need pumps in order to get fresh water in and up. You know, think about how tall the skyscrapers are in New York City. At the same time, we use water to get wastewater down and out of the building.
For over 90 years, Pumpman NYC, through its federal pump subsidiary, has been building and repairing pump systems throughout the tri-state area, including residential, commercial, and municipal projects. These pumps are used in both freshwater and wastewater systems.
Well, Pumpman is a national pump service and repair company. We focus on pumps and motors. Our roots in New York City actually go back 90 years through our acquisition of Federal Pump. But today we serve New York City out of two locations, here in Astoria in our shop where we're standing today, and also in Canarsie in Brooklyn. One of the things that makes our company unique is we really focus on on-site maintenance, repair, and service. Think about it. If you own a building, oftentimes you know you have a problem because you lose water pressure, you have a foul smell, you have a backup in the system. You don't really know what to do. First thing you do is you're going to call Pumpman NYC. You're going to call us up and say, come out here and tell me what's going on with my pump system. Our guys go out to the job site. They're able to diagnose the problem, very much focused on getting the problem resolved. Sometimes we can bypass a bad pump, a bad motor, a bad control. We can pull that pump out, bring it here to our shop. We can diagnose the problem. We can give the end user a choice between replacing the component or the full assembly, or we can actually fabricate repair parts right here.
Pumpman NYC is a one-stop shop. We're able to handle turnkey projects. So from troubleshooting through removal, repair to reinstallation, we can handle pretty much repair from A to Z.
From installation to yearly maintenance to emergency service, Pumpman and their highly trained technicians can handle all water pump related problems.
We're vertically integrated from the ability to do on-site diagnosis. We can pull a pump or motor, bring it back to our shops, diagnose that problem. We can give our customer a choice. Would you like it repaired or would you like it replaced? We can design the system, install it, and then provide aftermarket service, including 24-hour emergency repair.
To learn more about Pumpman NYC, visit their website, pumpmannyc.com, or watch this segment again at InsideTheBlueprint.com. Thanks for watching Inside the Blueprint. For more information on any of the products you saw today, or to find out how to become part of the show, please visit InsideTheBlueprint.com.